This is the time, and this is the place. And so if you all get comfortable and take a nice deep breath, we remember why we're here. We remember that there is that one life, that divine presence, that one power, that one force for good. It is the truth of our being. It is the truth of all life. And it is multiplied when we are here together. And so for this multiplication, I am deeply grateful. And I bless all that are here, all that are online, all that are making their way, or in any way hear this message in the week to come. And knowing that Reverend Ann's message is spot on, and that our hearts are open and our minds are open and our spirit soars throughout this service. I am deeply grateful for that knowing. And I let that be, and together we affirm.
And so it is. Hello, lovers.
Hello, Matt Bailey. Woo.
Hello, lovers.
Hello, Matt.
So, welcome to the Everyday Center for Spiritual Living, where we enjoy and help people live joy-filled lives. When?
Every day.
That's right, every day.
Could you use the mic, Matt, please?
Excuse me, use the mic.
Thank you.
So I'll stand over here. So we've changed a little bit of the order of our service. So we're going to move the announcements to the end. So I don't really have anything to announce other than summertime and the breeze. So that's what I'm thinking. So please silence your cell phones. Check in first. Let them know you're at where it's at.
That's right.
And then, do we have any first-time visitors here today?
Yeah, me and her.
Excuse me?
Me and her.
Me and
All right.
Nicholas and Judith.
There we go. Well, good. Glad to have you with us. Good. Anybody out there in the internet ether world? Any new people? I don't know how I'd know.
You would know.
Maybe they'd buzz. So, does anybody have a birthday or a celebration we'd like to acknowledge? There, Jackie's hand went right up.
Bill and I, our 38th anniversary is Tuesday.
Woo!
Again, demonstration of optimism at work. That's what I would say. Martha.
I'm headed to Africa in a week, and then also from October to March to Mexico and South America.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
Can I
Wow.
Yes.
do you need any luggage prayers? I can do that. I know how to do that. All righty, so what we're gonna, we got two more,
I just
Barbara.
thought people might be interested. The Montserrats have their anniversary on Thursday.
Oh.
Kathy and Bernardo.
And Carol.
There's a new owner of Amanda's Flower.
So you're encouraging everybody to drop in some last minute orders?
No.
If not, then let's sing Celebrate You.
We celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you.
All righty, this is where we stand. Bump elbows, give hugs, whisper sweet nothings. I won't see you again, but good to see you.
Okay, they muted themselves so we could talk, huh? How you guys? Hi, Joan. You're unmuted. Hi, Jean. You're unmuted.
Did we lose sound or what?
No, they've muted themselves so that we could talk while they're blabbering over there, having a good time.
Sounds good. Joan, you're muted.
Here, let me unmute you. Don't do anything. Okay, you're unmuted now.
Why am I unmuted?
Say hi. Jean's saying hi to you.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Hi. How
Hi,
are you?
Jean. Sorry, I'm on the phone with my cousin. That's why I'm
Oh,
unmuted.
okay.
I apologize.
That's all right.
And then
So you feeling better, Jean?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just, hell, I'm getting old. That's all there is to it. But yeah, I've just had two really close deaths, so it's been kind of hard this couple of weeks. Yeah, but I'm okay.
Good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I hated to miss the meeting. I didn't get the message till late, so, and I did check my email earlier, so
Right?
so there it was.
What's a woman to do?
That's right.
What's a woman to do? One can only be expected to check their email when they check it.
Well, I usually check it several times during the day, and that afternoon, I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't get it done. So,
They're going to remember to unmute.
yeah. Okay. I don't know if I'm muted or unmuted. Whatever.
I'll sneak a kiss. Okay. Mwah. Thank you.
There's a longing for the Lord that I know in my heart is you. Jai Ma, 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 Jai Ma. In the still of the night, there's a darkness in the light, and I know in my heart it is you. Jai Ma, 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 Jai Ma.
Now Patty will lead us in the four directions.
Thank you so much. Hans, You are electrifying. So staying in that beautiful space, I invite you to close your eyes for a minute and just let that flow through you so sweetly as we are grounded in the earth. And as we celebrate this weekend, knowing that it is that love that blends and joins and unifies all of us in the joy and love that life is. So I invite you now to please stand if you're able and face east. East, the place of the rising sun, the dawn of a new day and springtime. It is all about newness, fresh starts, and the shining of light in places where there was once darkness. In the east, we see things in the light of a new day. Illumination and inspiration all rise in the east, as does the element of air and the bird tribes. East relates to childhood. Its archetype is the teacher. So please take a deep breath, and as you do, turn to your right. South, high noon, summertime, and the element of fire. It is here that we learn of the art of celebration, innocence, and travel. We dance our dance, sing our song, and share our existence with others. In the East, we gained insight and understanding into our lives. In the South, we share that understanding. It is here we learn the lessons of the heart, the full, clear, open, and strong heart. Coyote lives there. The South relates to early childhood, and its archetype is the visionary. So please take a deep breath and turn to your right. West correlates to the dusk, autumn, and the element of water. West is the looking within place. Now is a time for looking into the patterns we carry that must be let go of in order to become who we truly are. This is a lesson of the autumn trees who drop their leaves to nourish the earth once again. This is usually a time of great emotion, slowing down and gathering ourselves for the winter ahead. Bear and crow reside in the West, along with all our ancestors. The West relates to adulthood or middle age. Its archetype is the healer. Please take a nice deep breath and turn to your right. The final turn of the wheel of life is the north, the night, winter, and the element of earth. The north is the place of no thingness, where we return to the great mystery to receive our vision, which we will ignite in the east. North is a place of the three dreams, the daydream, the night dream, and the life dream. This is the time we are to dream deep and wide for the vision of our life purpose and who we truly are. Deep ancient elders and wise ones live in the north, but we must be able to empty ourselves to receive their wisdom. It is the place of the owl and other nocturnal animals. North relates to elderhood. Its archetype is the warrior. So please take a deep breath and turn to face the center aisle of your screen. Close your eyes and place your hands over your heart. Quiet your mind and feel these words within the core of your being. Now open your eyes and look across the aisle or into your screen and see God looking back at you. This is the spirit of love, the spirit of life. And it is in each of us giving joy, peace, and love as we go and recognize it. And so it is.
And so it is.
Practitioner Emeritus Denise Forlizzi, and it is my deep honor to present this reading because I think you're going to like it. It's by Stephanie Sellers, and it's called The Pandemonium of Peace. Now showing planetary apocalypse. Only one person can save us before it's too late. You, and you, and you. The plot? Mass kindness erupts on every continent, forcing people into their neighbors' homes for dinner and to care for each other's children. On a revenge mission for violation against the earth are lone wolf superheroes, you and you and you. Strap on a bandolier of graphite pencils and clips of acrylics to command legal writs for equity. Community gardens and renewable energy become international law, creating a total global healing surge that robs humans of the power to learn to hate because they never see it. Worse, veteran mothers ratchet up the stakes by infiltrating the known world at every level and building human bonds between gangs of artists and the cynical, sending the miserly into studios to beg for crayons, finger paints, and the right to lie on the floor in a suit and draw. Coalitions for the prevention of isolation, fear, and hunger, outlaw suffering, and the wrathful are sentenced by the wizards of goodness to months of gardening and caring for animals. To ensure the world lasts into perpetuity, our superperson, you and you and you. The key to saving life as we have never known it and only imagined it. Becomes an outlaw of Armageddon to the completely possible mission of love that we were all born ready to accept. So take a nice deep breath in and let those words just kind of float about because isn't it awesome that that's what we're up to?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so our affirmation today, I'm going to say it once and then we'll repeat it together. I am proud to be an agent of change on this completely possible mission of love. I am proud to be an agent of change on this completely possible mission of love. And so it is.
And so it is. Good morning, I'm Joseph Zalek, and this morning it's a pleasure to be welcoming back Hans Bucher. Hans is a singer and songwriter who writes about our deepest callings and challenges in life. Since a young age, he has had a longing to discover true fulfillment. At 17, he had an experience where his mind stopped while sitting on the back porch looking at nature. This shift revealed the peace and love inherent already in the heart. The songs he writes about are about the power and depth of grace, music, love, nature, peace. Influenced by his teacher Gangaji, the acoustic music shared reveals what we truly desire is possible and available if we can turn our attention towards it. Please welcome Hans Bucher.
Thank you. It's nice to be back here at the Everyday Center. It's great to see all of you and get to share some music with you. This song is called Great Mystery, and it's the title song to my album that I'm working on. And it's kind of about our times and what we're going through and finding peace in the mystery of life. Is it hard to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, alright. Yeah, so this is called The Great Mystery. Songbirds singing to a full moon. Storm is raging in the sky. Forces of nature are moving at the hands of an unseen force. mystery, you're free to be when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery. Surprise, surprise, opens the eyes. Look inside and real eyes, real eyes. From the forest to the seas, the earth is ever changed. Night is foolish, he spoiled his nest, robbed himself of his own chest. Skills and balance of tips, looks like justice is downward bent. Here's a riddle, here's a test. Can there be peace in this? Oh, mystery, you're free to be when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery. Surprise, surprise, opens the eyes to look inside and real eyes, real eyes. Prophets bring the messages, signs of a coming light. Some speak of heaven, others speak of hell. On the other hand, a child is born, fresh to the life. No future, no past, the unknown awaits. Oh, mystery, you're free to be when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery when the whole is seen to be free. Everything cries mystery. Surprise, surprise, opens the eyes to look inside and real eyes, real eyes. Walk down these stairs to the house of being, to the house of being. Time will come and time will go, shades of the same spectrum of age. This ways all along in everlasting, something remains. Always, always, always.
morning, every day.
Good morning, Reverend Ann.
Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Zoom. Happy to see you. So when are we new?
Now.
Every day.
When are we new?
Now.
Hallelujah. It's only been anyway. I'm excited to greet you this morning. Welcome to July.
Golly.
And as amazing as it is to even realize that we're now in July, well, at least some of us are in July. Here we are. And I, by the way, for anyone in the room who doesn't happen to remember since last Sunday, I'm Reverend Ann Ray, and I am the very delighted, very irrepressible, very, very senior minister of the Everyday Center for Spiritual Living
Very, very
in Santa
senior.
Fe, Mexico. I want to extend special appreciation to Hans and to Joseph for that exquisite poem, piece, song. It was very moving. And Denise, your reading was, it could not have been more perfect.
Thank you.
So one may wonder how any of that could tie into the Pride and Prejudice, or if Pride and Prejudice ties into any of that. And the interesting thing about both Pride and Prejudice is that often those characteristics are denied by the people who feel them.
Mm.
People don't necessarily have an awareness of feeling pride. They don't necessarily have an awareness, hi Julia, of feeling prejudiced towards something or about something or someone. So I'm going to start with a story about my mother. Now, I grew up in a household, as I've told you before, I think, where the word patriotism wasn't just a word. It was a word I grew up hearing as a small child. Now, as a small child, my mother could have told me, oh, let me back up a minute. This is still about my mother, but this will help you understand. So at this time, there were organizations like the VFW and the American Legion and so on that were veterans organizations. And there were auxiliaries that were for the wives of veterans, the daughters of veterans, or female veterans. That tells you a little bit about how long ago this was. And it was through the generations that the women and the men on my mother's side of the family all belonged to the American Legion or the American Legion Auxiliary, depending on the facts I've just told you. In fact, my mother had my membership card filled out, true story, had my membership card filled out just waiting to find out what I was before I was born. So I was actually a member of the American Legion Auxiliary before I was born. And for my mom and dad, it wasn't just a social club. They had social things, but it wasn't just a social club. It was something that they took very seriously. It was something that they were proud to hold office in. And it tied in perfectly with their belief in patriotism. Because you never stopped serving. You never stopped serving. Whether or not you were actually physically in service, it was still your job. It came with being here to be of service and to be proud of being of service and to be proud of being a patriot. I cannot tell you how many speeches I listened to by the time I was probably this high about patriotism. Could I have used my words differently? I probably could have told you more about patriotism at that point in my life than I could about anything else. Now, what were they patriotic about? What was this patriotism and allegiance to? Was it an allegiance to war?
No,
No. It was an allegiance to peace.
that's right.
It was an allegiance to peace and to that which aligned with what my mom and dad referred to as our sacred documents.
Exactly.
The Constitution and the Declaration of Independence.
And the Bill of Rights.
And that too. Sorry, Mom.
She's coming through me.
So here we are.
Yeah.
In 2023. I can't tell you the last time I even heard the word patriotic.
That meant that.
Now, I suppose assuming that I could find one, if I walked into a VFW, which is Veterans of Foreign Wars, or an American Legion, that I would find it there, if I could find one. I can find their former buildings that have the emblems on them. But a lot of the things that our parents or their parents took for granted that would be around always as reminders of our responsibility to honor those who have been in service, and to continue in their memory in support of these documents that we celebrate. To remember that we're here to be of service. And to remember that we're here to be of service for peace.
Yes.
My mom was, well, my grandmother too, but my mom was really committed to her engagement with the American Legion Auxiliary. And she was so committed, in fact, that she held the position of secretary-treasurer because the local places were called units. And then there was a district that was, let's say, one was a town and the other was the greater city. So in this case, it was Inglewood, California, and then the greater city was Los Angeles. So that was the district. And today I'm wearing my mother's ring when she was president of the District of Los Angeles. She wanted nothing more, I don't think ever in her life, than to be the president of the Department of California. It wasn't to be. But that never tapped or touched her dedication to others who were in the auxiliary or the cause of the auxiliary itself. Now, all of that may or may not be interesting to you. What's interesting to me is that this dedication and this focus didn't seem to interfere with the existence of bias and prejudice in our home. So I realized as I was preparing for this talk that we can be all fired up about whatever it is that is human rights or equal rights or green rights or whatever it is. We can be all fired up about whatever it is. The Constitution, right or wrong, the Declaration, right or wrong, the Bill of Rights, right or wrong. And we can still have room in us for both pride and prejudice. And I think it gets in our way.
Yeah.
Without us realizing it, I think it gets in our way. Because in this teaching, in the Science of Mind teaching, which is a philosophy and a way of life, we teach that there is one life, that there is one power, there is one presence. It is all life. It is my life now. It is our life now. It is all life now, regardless of whom or what. In fact, none of the who's or what's would even exist without that life, including us.
Yeah.
And we believe that because there is only one, there is no separation. So, if there is no separation, how does prejudice work? Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to like zucchini or olives or worms. What I am saying, I'm not even saying we all have to like each other. What I am saying is if there is no separation, then every time we look into someone else's eyes, the eyes of God are looking into the eyes of God and seeing the eyes of God looking back.
Right. Amen.
No difference. No, you can't pick me a person And I know that sounds like a dare. I didn't say they had to know it. But we do know it. And since we do know it, since we do know that every time that we look someone in the eye, we are looking through the eyes of God at the eyes of God and seeing them see us. Since we do know it, we don't get to skate. We don't get to skip this part. We don't get to say, well, yeah, but if they would only change their mind about that, or if they'd only stop talking about that, or if they'd, only do it my way, or whatever the case may be, we don't get to do that.
Right.
Because it has nothing to do with personality. We have personality, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We have personality. We have preference. But the question of who we are and what we are and why we're here has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It has nothing to do with personality or preference. We get to choose absolutely what we're going to do with it. What are we going to do with this opportunity? Because this life was a gift, whether it has always felt like it or not. This life is a gift, and we get to choose what we're going to do with it.
Yep.
We get to decide if we're going to be loving, generous beings out in the world and with our loved ones or not. We get to decide if we're going to find ways of expressing our, shall we say, differences of opinion with each other in ways that don't make the other person wrong. Everybody breathe, because I hear some non-breathing going on. There actually is a way. There actually is always a way to express our difference of opinion gently, honestly, authentically. I love that line from Denise's reading. I love many lines from Denise's reading, but that line about people don't hate because they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
The things that we find to poke at in each other, what in the world is the point of that?
Yeah.
Because personally, when I get poked at, I don't like it. Anybody else like it?
No.
If you do, it's okay. You don't have to say. That may be a personal issue. So what is it now to believe, to stand in our belief, to stand in our philosophy, to walk in our philosophy, to talk in our philosophy, to love each other in our philosophy and love everybody else? What is it to live up to that? I don't have any fantasy about being the department president for the state of California or the state of New Mexico, assuming that position ever still exists. And you know, isn't that an interesting question? To want something as badly as my mother wanted that, and it may not even still exist now.
Yeah.
Wow. To want something so badly that it would never occur to us that things would evolve and have different expressions and no longer have that need.
Mm.
Wow. Now, I don't fault my mother for her dedication because it taught me many things. It taught me some things I wanted to learn, and it taught me some things I didn't want to learn, but I learned them anyway.
Mm.
What I'm grateful for is the example of this stream of dedication that ran through my family without question. Now, in this particular case, it was a clear stream. It was a good stream. Probably had trout. It was a healthy stream, despite the fact that there was, you know, Pride and Prejudice that was, of course, separate
Right.
from anything that the American Legion would accept. Sort of. That thread, though, of consistency and of dedication to each other, of the ability to embrace each other, because of this common thread, has contributed enormously. That example has contributed enormously to the person I am now. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're not engaging with each other, if you're not embracing of each other, if you're not honoring of each other, what in the world are you doing?
Right.
That's what we're all here to do. Plus a few other things I could mention, but we'll start there. That's what we're all here to do. And so, you know, last year, my 4th of July weekend-ish title was My Personal Declaration of Emancipation.
Proclamation.
Oh, that too. My Personal Proclamation of Emancipation. This year I have made that the theme for the whole month. Because I think it's important for us to take ownership of the freedom that we have.
Yes. Amen.
Denise and I were listening to something last night, and there were so many words spoken that were important that I'm not even going to begin to share them all, but some of the ones that really stood out for me were, you know, the deeper we look at each other, the more alike we are than different.
Mm-hmm.
That there is never a reason to not be kind. Those are freedoms
Yes.
that we enjoy. The person who was speaking happened to be from England. And he has lived in the States for the last 8 years, and now he's returning to England for various reasons. But he was saying that one of the things that he has discovered while living here is that we do not see the United States the way other countries in the world see us.
Yeah.
There are still people, now, regardless of how you feel about immigration, whether there's too many or not enough, or what's happening with these people is correct or not correct, I don't know. Just think about it. There isn't, I don't think, a quantifiable number of people, certainly in this room, who are direct descendants of people who were born here.
That's right. That's right.
All of us are direct descendants, or most of us are direct descendants of immigrants.
That's right.
And the immigrants who came here were excited. They may not have liked the trip, and who can blame them? But they were excited because there was promise here. There was hope here. There was opportunity here. Anybody here before the land of opportunity?
Yeah.
In reference to the United States?
Yeah.
I do.
And so what I would say, because I haven't had an opportunity to have a conversation with all of the people who are trying to get into this country still, I haven't had an opportunity to converse with them, but I would say that one of the reasons, because in my mind it boils down to two basic reasons. They think there is opportunity here. There's the opportunity maybe to be safe, maybe to have a job. There's opportunity here. And it is still a way better place to be than any place they've come from.
Yep.
So where are we with our appreciation? I know we have a lot of things to complain about. But where are we with our appreciation? You know, our grandparents or grandparents of grandparents or grandparents of grandparents, depending, they were always, it didn't matter what was going on in the neighborhood, and believe me, the neighborhoods were pretty interesting back then. But they were always in appreciation for the opportunity of being here. And I know that a lot of people have said, if I could right now, I'd move to Canada. Well, I don't think anybody would move to Canada right now. But maybe you would. But even though there are opportunities in Canada that don't exist here right now, what about the ones that only exist here?
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to reevaluate.
Yes.
And to find in our hearts and minds a blessing. Exactly.
Mhm.
For this country and all who live in it.
Mhm.
There is so much division. So many reasons to argue. And use a really old-fashioned word that my mother would use all the time, misbehave. We know we're all one. And that is cause enough for gratitude, celebration, and spreading it around.
Amen. Yep.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Oopsie daisies.
Oh, and you'll fix this for Hans, please?
Thank you.
So the song is called Arms of Life. And it's a song really about how we're held and what supports us in all the different ways that spirit and life embrace us and support us. So if you just want to reflect on that while I sing this song, you can. And if you want to visualize something too, you could do that as well. If something comes to mind. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. Do you remember all of those times laying in the sand of life, laying in creation time, diving into the depths of the sea, flying in the wind of light. All of this held in the arms of light. All of this held in the arms of light. All of this held and held. All of this held and held. All of this held in spirit. All of this held in spirit. All of this held and held. All of this held and held. Broken mysteries out at sea. No time to rescue reality. They try to rewrite the ending, but the pain was action, some stroke of time. All of this held in the arms of light. All of this held in the arms of light. All of this held and held. All of this we sail in spirit. All of we sail in spirit. All of we sail in Hilton. All of we sail in Hilton. I lay down my armor and shield. I open to your soft burning side. I find your burning, telling the truth. All of this hell in the arms of light. All of this hell in the arms of light. All of this hell and hell. All of this hell and hell. All of this hell in spirit. All of this hell in spirit. All of this hell and hell.
Okay, everyone, now is the time for our conscious giving. So I just invited each one of us to open into that space where Reverend Ann just talked about, that place of generosity, that place of freedom, the place of liberation. And see if you can match your energy to that expansive idea and those ideas. And what we know is that what we give out, we get back, pressed down and multiplied. And so in that sense, as you prepare your offering and as I call the ushers forward, just prepare it in that sense of generosity. Whether you tithe online or you give through the website, or today's not the week that you give, but you can still give with your energy. And so if you join me please in saying our prayer of abundance. The love of Spirit blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. And so it is. And so while their ushers are collecting around the room, we have a couple of announcements. So please give yourself the gift of prayer today if you are so inclined. I'm available after service. I know Patty Berry, Carol, and Brenner in the room if we need more practitioners. And Jean Watson is available online should that need happen. It is definitely a gift that you give to yourself. So bring what's heavy on your heart, what's light on your heart, what you'd like to be supported in, and ask for prayer. Mishu Landon is our music next week. And if you check the back table or the table in the lobby where there's tons of great snacks, I gotta say, good job everyone. There's sign-up lists for snacks, there's sign-up lists for volunteer opportunities, and even people online, we have opportunities for service. So if you're so inclined and something that you would like to give, that you have a skill in giving, please reach out to the Everyday Center because we really welcome your service as well. And upcoming events and classes are also informed on the table. So, take advantage. So come on up, back ushers, and everybody, just gather your energy again and focus it on the baskets and the energy that went into the baskets and everything that's coming in over the week and all of it going to support our ideas of generosity and kindness, our ideas of believing that there is only one and all are connected. And in that, we know that what we receive in goes out in that same spirit of support, that appearance of service and of gladness. And so we just bless everything, knowing it goes to its perfect place as a representation of the everyday center.